Hey everybody, 5thHorseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and I don't know if you noticed this, but I've got a probe here that only has an ore scanner. And do you know why? Because we're going to be drilling ore on Minmus. That's the whole point of this crazy looking craft here. Let's break this down really quick. We've got this scanner here. This is going to detach when we get to Minmus and scan for ore the same way we did it on Moho. This here is going to be my Minmus drilling station. I have modified Kethane drills that will drill for ore because the ore drillers are kind of wonky. I'm not a fan of them. I've got these pipes and pylons so we can set up a kind of a quote unquote refueling operation for this guy, who is going to be the guy who picks the ore up off the surface and brings it up to the space station here, which this is one container for the space station. This is the other one. We got two. These are going to attach to the current space station that's up there. And then up here we've got a thing that converts... oh, I just realized I forgot something. This will actually convert metal into rocket parts. But we need to convert ore into metal. So what I need for that is this crazy Kethane converter here, because, you know, Kethane converters, that's what they're for. But we need to, if you look at this thing... If I can scroll down, yeah, I was having some issues with this. There we go. It will convert, where is it? Input Kethane, input Kethane, input Kethane, input ore. Yeah, it'll input ore and it'll output metal. So we can make metal with this thing, and then we can make rocket parts with this thing. And then if you go down all the way to the bottom here, we can make spaceships with this thing. So I'm pretty excited, to be honest. This is going to jazz me out. I'm glad I was explaining this all to you, though, because it would have really sucked to have made it all the way up to Minmus and then realized I did not have any way to create those. So there we go. There's that. And this is kind of wonky looking. Eventually I'm going to be able to replace this entire stack here, which makes me think I might want to put it on a... Let's do this. There is madness to my method. I'm going to put this whole thing on a docking port. You can't have too many docking ports, I have found. I am trying to learn from earlier mistakes here. One thing I have learned, and I learned it a long time ago, and I keep forgetting it, is you can never have too many docking ports. So that's what this is here. What I can do is when this is obsolete, I can undock it from here and then bring up just the converter, the bigger Kethane converter, which does both the conversions for you, and just slap it on the top. The other thing I learned is you kind of need RCS and you kind of need reaction wheels. So I've put some reaction wheels throughout here, especially on this guy. This guy definitely needs reaction wheels because he's going to lower this whole thing down to the surface of Minmus. So the one thing I don't have on here, which is essentially critical, is launch clamps. So I'm going to slap these on here, and then we are going to head out to the launch pad. And I don't believe we have anybody to hire. However, let's see, available Sidri and Rob. That's kind of weird because what happened to Ankro? Ankro was in my file. I'm going to re-add Ankro. And I will be back because it's weird that isn't Sean Wise? I thought he was in a ship already. What is going on? Let me check something. I'll be right back. Well, I found out the problem. Kersini is the one who is going to Dre. I hope you're going to enjoy yourself, Kersini. You're going to be on this ship for a while. I apparently forgot to put Sean Wise in the last time we launched it, and you probably all noticed that last episode. But hey, what are you going to do? Okay, well, Kersini, you have your work cut out for you. So let's head back to the space plane hangar, or the VAB. But anyway, as I was talking about this ship, it's crazy looking, but it's not very much crazier than anything else I've launched, so I'm not too concerned about it. The big important thing, I'm actually going to lift it a little bit off because I imagine we're going to have some jiggly problems here. The big issue with this guy is Delta V, as always, and we've got almost 7,000, and to get to Minmus, to get to orbit around Minmus, you want around 6,000, so I don't really foresee any problems. The biggest thing is once all these fuel tanks are gone, that's it as far as these guys are concerned. The only fuel on these guys on this ship after that is this. So this has to do all the heavy lifting work once these get us off the atmosphere. And I've noticed that all my staging is wrong, so I'm going to fix that, and I will meet you on the launch pad. I'm confused. Apparently I sent Encro to Moho. I don't know how that happened. I thought for sure something weird's going on. But, yeah, I have a feeling something got wonky in my save because these guys are all in different places that I remember them. I'm just going to live with it. And, yeah, because Seanwise is in the Moho Kethane lifter, which is pretty much impossible. So, I don't know what happened. And Nathan and Waffles are missing in action, which makes no sense either. Because Nathan was definitely on the surface of Minmus. So we're just going to keep going with it. Anyway, back to the launch pad. This looks horrific. I can't believe I'm planning on launching this thing into space. If anything fails, it's going to be this connection right here. Because all of this stuff down here is hanging from this location. And I don't have any struts, which is kind of stupid. But we're going to rally on regardless. And we're going to launch in 3, 2, 1, launch. And our thrust weight is crap, but that's fine. I don't know if crap is the right word. We've got a little bit extra Delta V, so I think a little bit low thrust weight on the launch pad is not a terrible thing. But I don't know which ones of these are going to run out first. Looks like these ones, and oh yeah, okay, there we go. As soon as these run out, we're going to dump them. Don't really have to worry about atmospheric efficiency with this low of a thrust to weight ratio. Oh! I'm going to call that a fatal problem with the ship. We are going to revert to the vehicle assembly building and try that again. Okay, I have added Sepratron, or whatever you call them, radial decouplers here, Sepratrons here, and then the same radial decoupler here. And what I'm going to do is each time I stage, I have to stage twice. One to drop this, and then I stage again to disconnect this, and then this will shoot it away. And in a perfect world, that will keep bad things from happening to my ship. Let's find out if that actually happens, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, launch. And you'll notice it is a Robin Bob flying this bad boy. I think Rob is going to be flying the ship while Bob sits down on the surface. I think that's the way we're going to do this. Haven't decided yet. But, yeah, obviously, I'm going to keep you here while we watch these things burn down, just to make sure everything runs the way we expect it to. And here we go. As soon as these engines cut off. Goodbye. And that's good enough for me. It did its job. Okay, we are burning through fuel in another one of these tanks. This one here. Yeah, we're nowhere near atmospheric efficiency, which we expected not to be because our thrust to weight is so low. But as I said, it shouldn't be a big deal. If we can get this thing into orbit, we should be fine. And I don't really see any problem getting this thing into orbit, to be honest with you. We're going to start our gravity turn a little bit late because our apoapsis is barely above us here. We're going to start it around, say, 6.5, give or take. Maybe when our apoapsis gets up to about 75. Okay, just tip it over just a tad. I like that. That works for me. Okay, we're going to keep going here. This is really wobbly, and to be honest, it's freaking me out. Our apoapsis is at 10, so we're going to keep cruising over here. Yeah, I think it might be competing reaction wheels. If I turn off these reaction wheels, hopefully things will be a little bit better. We are way too far over, so we're just going to keep it right here. Our time to apoapsis is stalled at 12. There, it's going up now, which is good. Yeah, we can't really do much with this thing until we are higher up here. And we don't have enough control over this guy. Fuel's draining out of these guys. Let's see, our apoapsis is 16. And we've got 2 more engines left, which isn't boding super well. But our apoapsis has reached 20,000. And we got twice as much fuel per engine now as we did last stage. So with any luck here, I'm going to wait until our apoapsis gets to 25 before we roll over. These engines might not have enough oomph in them, though, because our time to apoapsis is going down. Quickly. Although its acceleration is slowing, which is good. But it's still accelerating. Or not accelerating, it's still going down. But as long as it doesn't go down all the way, I'm cool with this. But the nuclear engines definitely don't have enough to get us into orbit. And I'm thinking these ones don't either. Although we've basically stalled at our apoapsis. 2.5 seconds away from it here. The ship might need a little bit of, just a little bit of extra help off the launch pad. Maybe some solids. A ring of solids around the outside or something. But we'll see. We're being very inefficient, though. Not burning towards our prograde. I might be able to get a better ascent profile, too. But I'm thinking possibly we can't. I'm going to tilt it over to 40 degrees here. Because our time to apoapsis is increasing now. And as long as it's increasing, I'm willing to tilt over. Yeah, now it's going back down. So we're going to sit right here at 30. 30 being the angle here. I'm just watching this number and the nav ball. That's all I'm doing. And we're disturbingly low on fuel. Which does not even remotely bode well for us. We've got a lot of drag and a lot of inefficiency because we're not burning at prograde. Yeah, we definitely don't have it now. Look at that. It's just going down, so. Okay, well, that was a failed test. Let's revert to the vehicle assembly. I'm going to add some solids, and we'll be back on the launch pad in a moment. Okay, Rob and Bob are back on the launch pad. We've got solids on all but the first stage here, because I think the solids might last longer than that first stage. The solids also I've got set to decouple when I hit 0, so a little bit more complicated than usual, but hey, That's what Kerbal Space Center is all about. What do we got here? Total, we've got, yeah, this delta V isn't right because it's atmospheric. But anyway, we obviously have more than we had before. So in 3, 2, 1, launch. Much better ascent speed here. Now, when these run out, I am going to hit the space bar, and when the solids run out, I am going to hit the number 0. And it looks like the solids are going to last slightly longer than these guys. Yeah. So we're going to say goodbye to these guys right about now. And then the solids here are going now. Okay. That gave us a good bit of oomph off the launch pad, which is very much needed in this ship. But we are still cruising along, and I think I'm going to wait till my apoapsis gets to TED before I turn, because that just scared me how much we lost on the thing. So when this apoapsis gets to TED, I'm going to start my little crank over gravity turn here, just to give us a little bit more time. And I'm going to turn off, if I can get to it, there we go, turn off the torque on that guy. Goodbye engines, goodbye struts. And then yeah, we're basically gonna follow what we normally do now. Which is to slowly come over until my apoapsis is at 20. Yeah, we're not going nearly fast enough though. I think I'm gonna wait significantly here. I hope I didn't screw it up by tilting too soon. These clouds are so nice looking. But yeah, I'm just gonna slowly follow this thing down on my nav ball to the right here. I'm gonna try to get more vertical earlier to hopefully keep this thing more of an efficient ascent than we have had in the past. See, we're already at 30 and I'm just getting to 45, so this is already, I think we're higher than we were before, and we're just dumping our last fuel tanks here, or our second to last I should say. Whenever you guys are ready. There you go, goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, now we can start really turning this thing. This is a much better, I'm much happier with this. Although we're not going very fast. We're going to gain a lot of speed on this last leg of our journey here. Especially because we're basically out of the atmosphere now. As I say, right as it switches to orbit mode, which is kind of sweet. But let's see here. 40,000 down to 20, which is pretty much perfect. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. Okay, tell you what, I will see you in orbit. Okay, we just got out of the atmosphere, and we just lost our last engines. So we're kicking on the nuclear engines. And we just also passed our apoapsis, which is probably not great. So, but actually our apoapsis is on the other side of the planet now, I should say. But when we get our apoapsis up to 80, I will stop burning here. There we go, and we are still climbing, right? So yeah, so we are climbing away from our periapsis, which is of all importance. Let's go ahead and open up the solar panels here. Actually, that's probably a really stupid idea. I'm glad it didn't work. Because we are low enough in the atmosphere that opening the solar panels is probably a bad idea. Okay, nothing bad happened. Okay, so we need to see where we're going to actually be at apoapsis. Looks like it's going to be in the dark. Well, we just need to burn that way. So we're going to turn this crazy ship. I'm actually going to turn these torques back on here. Give ourselves a little bit of extra control. But once again, I have managed to not leave any debris in orbit, which is always good. Although now that we're playing with Extra-Planetary Launchpads, it's got a recycle bin, so you can actually fly stuff into the recycle bin and it turns it into rocket parts, which is pretty sweet. But that's all later. We'll worry about that when the time comes. Okay, so we've got 2,000 Delta V, so we're fine as far as that's concerned. We're just cruising until we get out of the atmosphere. We're low enough that I should probably be paying attention. Yeah, see, my apoapsis is already. We need to burn a prograde. Yeah, we're low enough. I didn't think about that. We're low enough in the atmosphere that drag is still pretty significant. So we need to get back up to 75 up here. There we go. What is our current? We are still at 56, which isn't bad. Let's get up to 60 and see how much drag screws us up. Look at how wobbly we are. Okay, let's see what our apoapsis is now. 74. Yeah, we shouldn't lose any more. So let's go ahead and crank ourselves up to altitude of 70. We're in space. Okay, now we need to aim ourselves down a little bit to be ready for this maneuver node here. I don't actually care about it. I just want to be aimed in the right direction. There we go. We have an orbit. Now, let's go to Minmus. Let's set that as our target. Looks like we're going to be coming around this way. It looks like we want Minmus to be up here. So it's going to be a little while before that happens. So what we're going to do here is... I wish I knew... Tell you what. Yeah, that's not going to be very accurate. What do I want to do? Yeah, what I want to do here is, let's add a maneuver here. It's going to be multiple orbits, though, is the problem. It's going to be multiple orbits. So, I think we're just going to switch to him. And then we're going to center on Kerbin. And let's see, it was like this, right? And we want Minmus to be right up here. Minmus refinery maneuver. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's close the alarm and unpause. Oh, we also have a thing with our Moho Cathane lifter. I forgot about that. Okay, we're going to jump to Moho. Actually, I'm curious what the heck. I'm curious who is where on this thing. Okay. Sean Wise is somehow piloting the ship that I was piloting before. And he is 8 minutes away from his maneuver node. Who's in the fuel depot? Ankro, you are flying the fuel depot somehow. Hope you don't mind. And who's on the ground? Ah, yes, laying on the ground. And Bill is on the ground. Seems reasonable to me. Okay, so I guess we'll just live with this the way it is right now. But anyway, Moho Cathane lifter. Let's jump to the ship and restore the maneuver node. Because he, if we look here, is going to do a burn to... Yeah, this is the burn to meet up with the fuel depot. So let's go ahead and just crank up time here. It's 121... I think it was a 1 minute burn, if I remember correctly. So let's go to target mode. Oh, let's set him as our target. And then go to target mode, and then go up to 30 seconds before. Or right now is fine. Ah! That was horrible. Just gonna dead stick this the old-fashioned way. Okay, 50 meters per second towards him. That should be enough to get us right back to him. Flip ourselves around here. Good news is we're coming into the light. I am terrible at this. Terrible, I say. Okay, 4 meters per second, roughly towards him. This should do it. So we're going to kill our velocity here when we're 50 meters from him or so. And then we're going to aim him at us, and then aim us at him. Okay. Just kill that velocity. Okay. Let's see. You got to get rid of this to be able to dock. No, there's a docking port right here. Let's go ahead and control from here. Where are you? There you are. Oh, I can't. I hate that. I said control from here, and now stop clicking on that, please. Set as target. There, that's good enough. Let's aim at it. And then switch back. Set this as our target, and this is our control from. And let's aim ourselves. Yeah, so we used up, what, about a quarter of our fuel, getting our fuel to the space station, so it could be better. There we go. Thought we had something going on. Okay, we want to be heading basically towards it. Very slowly. Going into chase mode.